This week is spring break for our family, and it looks remarkably similar to the weeks that preceded it. I have been meditating on a verse from Psalm 77. This is a psalm which starts out with 10 verses of asking God the question, God, where are you? Lord, are you even listening to me? And in verse 19 of that psalm, it says this, your road led through the sea, a pathway no one knew was there. Now, the context is the psalmist is remembering the Israelites journeying out of Egypt, and as they began to escape slavery there, the Egyptian army pursued them to the very edge of the Red Sea, and things were looking bleak for Moses and God's people. It was game over. But God made a way where nobody could see a way, and his road led through the sea, a pathway no one knew was there. Friends, this is also true when God brought his people into the promised land. You remember the Jordan River was flooding and swollen. It was game over for them then, too. And yet God made a way where nobody could see a way, and his road led through the water, a pathway no one knew was there. And especially this Holy Week, with the betrayal, torture, and crucifixion of their master, Jesus, the disciples were absolutely certain that it was game over. And yet God made a way where nobody could see a way. And his road led through the cross. It led through the tomb. It led on a pathway that nobody knew was there. And what it makes me think is that maybe this is how God often leads us in life. Yeah, there are times when he leads us in green meadows beside still waters, but so often the way ahead looks dark and fearful. And yet God is already one step ahead of us, leading us along a pathway we can't even see. And this is especially relevant right now, given where so many of us are in this virus lockdown. You know, my sister Sarah is entering cancer treatment today, where she will receive chemotherapy powerful enough to knock her hair out and her immune system down to nothing. And I just want to encourage her, and I want to encourage her family, that God's way leads through this darkness. It leads along a pathway that nobody knew was there. I know friends right now with job losses or reduced income in the season, and I get it. I've had all kinds of event cancellations this spring, and so I want to encourage all of us that God's way leads through this loss along a pathway that nobody knew was there. And because this week actually ends with Easter Sunday, I simply want to remind you all of where God's road leads. It leads, friends, to victory. His road leads to promised land. It leads to resurrection. It leads to salvation. Yeah, the road leads through the sea, but where he is leading is someplace absolutely beautiful. So keep walking, my friends. Keep walking with him. And if there's any way that I can personally encourage you in this season, please don't hesitate to reach me at mikehowerton.org. Be well, stay strong, and keep walking.